Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is November 5th, and this is episode 119. This is take 3. The first one I just was not speaking well, and the second one the camera was not running. So this is take 3. Okay, today we're going to take a look at PANdemIC and also Do As You're Told, the Ballad of No. And both of these were a bundle from a crowdfunding project from Indiegogo, set up by Richard Meyer. He runs the YouTube channel Comics Matters. If you've seen that, this is his work right here. So I just want to mention, both of these are a recommend. They're put out by his own label, Splato Comics, and they're both about the current coronavirus pandemic, if I can say that. I don't know if I'm allowed to for YouTube, but I did. And one story takes place in New York, the other one in Los Angeles. And let's get into the New York side first. So we'll go East Coast to West Coast, if you will. Just want to mention that, like I said, Richard Meyer is the author on this one. The art is by Lorenzo Rodriguez, and the coloring is by Michael G. And I want to say this is just terrific comic. My criticisms of it are not real too much, but let's get into that right now. The first page, we have the setup here, and it's not really clear why she's here or what she's doing in this particular building. And I think I kind of knew what she was doing ahead of time because I'd seen the videos about this comic, and I'd also read about the project as well. So I was thinking it might be a little stronger if there was a little caption here, just kind of having her own setup, like she's retelling the story a little bit, and maybe mention why she's there, and mention the shortage of certain goods and things like that, like toilet paper, because that would have been a nice tie-in for the end there. It would have been kind of funny, but. And my other criticism was I wanted this Clarissa to be a little bit more heroic. So perhaps instead of her stealing these things to get her own money, perhaps she's borrowing the laptops for her sister's kids so they have computers to use while they're being homeschooled during the pandemic, and then planning on maybe returning them, sneaking them back into the building. Just because she works there and she knows her way around. But Richard took a different step to it. She's kind of like a cat burglar here, and that's fine too, because it helps with the setup of the character as well. Okay, so she makes her way through. She gets a little greedier than usual. She's going to take a big screen TV with her as well, and suddenly a meeting appears in the building she's trying to remove this TV set from, and these major heads of major state and power and everything else show up to discuss the pandemic, and she realizes there's something afoot here. They figure out she's in there listening in, and she's escorted away by 2 guards, and they discover her in the back room here. And they kind of lead her out, and this is kind of a creepy, almost a dreamlike sequence here, because here she has been let out, but the people at the table don't pay any attention to her. And it's almost like she's not there, and as like if you were in a dream and you're witnessing things, but people don't see you. Kind of the same kind of feel to me when I was reading that, so that was kind of a little creepy, a little creepy feel to it. And what I like about this too is she uses her skills, her agility, her speed, her youth, her strength, obviously, but also her brains over her brawn to escape the situation that looks like it's going to be very dire. And so she's not beating up 2 to 3 to 4 guys. She's just escaping, basically, just using her wits. And I enjoyed that part a lot. She makes her way down out of the building. She uses things that she sees along the way to slow down her pursuers. Just a really, really good chase scene here. And this chase scene continues through the rest of the comic, and I don't really want to give it all away. It is a recommend. And this one is a 22-pager. It's a very fast read. I think I read both these books like in 15 minutes, and usually it takes me a lot longer because I am a slow reader. But and thank you, Richard, for making the bubbles big enough, the font large enough that I didn't need to use a magnifying glass on this. So really nice. The Ballad, no, it's a totally different story taking place in the same time period. And of course, on the West Coast, this time in Los Angeles. And this one's all black and white. Richard C. Meyer is the writer, and Kelsey Shannon did the art. Now, this isn't my favorite kind of cartoon art, but here it's fine. It works okay. I like this kind of art, but I usually like it just in a single wall hanging panel type. When it's put together like this, it's a little confusing to me, a little chaotic. The story itself has a lot of humor in it, and it moves very quickly. This story is 26 pages, and our hero is a mental patient who escapes during all the chaos that's going on. His hospital is actually being burnt down by arsons, and so they just move everybody out, and he just keeps going. And his big quirk is he just says no. He says no to every question. He says no to every command. So this gets him in and out of situations. It gets him in seemingly trouble that is inescapable, but somehow he is able to maneuver out of it. And both of them kind of have a nice little twist at the end. And it's almost like, I almost get the feeling like maybe these two will be kind of connected in some way, that they'll come together and be part of a larger organization. I don't know. But I want to mention that also in this one, where Clarissa uses her skills and wits to escape. I don't even know what his name is. I'll just call him No. Uses his he just trains constantly while he's in the hospital. He does all these push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups, and he's martial art, so he knows his way around a sword. So I could see these two probably working together in the future. I don't know if that's the plan or not, but I could see that happening. So that's my recommendation for both of them. And I really appreciate you stopping by the Temple of Tomes. Please like, please subscribe, please leave comments. If you didn't like this review, please tell me why, and I'm trying to do better at this. And as always, this is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.